Let's go to London with CTV's Danielle Hamamdjian. Danielle, where to begin? So much to unpack. What did we learn last night from the royal couple? What was the takeaway for you?
Well, as you're right, there's so much to unpack. I mean, let's start with the most alarming revelation by Meghan is that at one point she felt so trapped, so claustrophobic that she contemplated suicide. She sought help with the with HR at the palace, only to be told, no, you can't get help. It would reflect too badly on the institution. I mean, this is a place where just a few years ago, Harry, his brother Will and Kate got together for this Heads Together campaign, which was to promote mental health. And just a few years later, she was being told, no, keep it all within the walls. We can't have this look badly on the institution and yourself. We also learned that when they left the UK, Prince Charles would not return Prince Harry's calls. They were cut off financially, and that there were concerns, according to Harry and Meghan, about Archie's skin color. Now, I just want to touch on that because, as you can see, there are no crowds behind me outside the palace. We are in lockdown. But I did spend the morning listening to radio stations here and people calling in. This was by far the #1 topic people wanted to talk about. And a lot of the callers were either mixed race themselves, were parents or grandparents of kids who are mixed race. And a lot of them said, listen, yes, there is absolutely a racist way you can raise this issue, but you can also raise it in a more curious way. Of course, we'll never know how this conversation happened. We'll never know who raised it. The only thing that Oprah Winfrey made clear, because it was asked of her by Harry, is that it wasn't the Queen and it was not Prince Philip. On the issue of the Queen, Meghan made the distinction between the royal family and the institution. The institution, as Princess Diana described as being run by the men in grey suits, and the firm, as both called it during these interviews. And so the way it's playing out here today, people are up in arms on both camps.
Okay,
Marcia.
so on that point then, Danielle, and Meghan kind of addressed this last night, Oprah did, not everybody likes Meghan, and they haven't liked her from day one. So did her interview last night change anyone's perception of her, do you think?
Well, first off, it hasn't aired in the UK. It's going to air tonight. Some people, mostly royal watchers or those who are really curious, probably stayed up in the middle of the night to watch it. So ask me again the question tomorrow. But I think, yes, it has the potential to sway a lot of people. I mean, based on the clips that were released by CBS last week, we were certainly being led to believe that she was going to say some shocking things. It went far beyond shocking. It was, it was worse than that. It was explosive. As one royal expert said this morning, the royal family should be hiding in a bomb shelter. I think in North America and in the United States particularly, and this is just, I'm generalizing here, there's been no polling done, although I think there'll be internal polling done eventually from the palace. People tend to view Meghan as a victim. And by doing this interview, she showed that she was courageous and brave. There are many people here who say that she likes to play the victim, and that not every criticism of her should be seen through the prism of race. I'll spare you what the tabloids are saying this morning, because the tabloids will be tabloids, of course. But you can imagine what the briefing with the Queen must have been like this morning. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't checking my phone furiously for a statement from Buckingham Palace. Are they going to respond to the allegations? They have to at some point, that she contemplated suicide, allegations of racism. They're alarming claims, and they're going to have to respond to them eventually, if not today, perhaps tomorrow, after the interview airs in the UK. We'll see.
Danielle, thank you for all that.